All right. Shabbat Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to start this lesson by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh,
Allah,
Bahashem,
Hashem,
Yahshua,
Yahweh,
Hashem,
Hashem,
Kakash.
Akasarai.
Double honor to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who rule well and have taught us this word in truth and sincerity. And peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, starting with 144,000. All right, that's pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. And the rest of you that sincerely believe, peace and mercy to you and your household. So, all right, James Toronto once again coming back at you with another live lesson, and it's gonna be another edition of News and Prophecy, and the title, as you can see, is "Hatred for the Whore is Growing." Hatred for the whore is growing, okay, and the hatred of the whore will grow into World War III, okay. Ultimately, that's what it's going to do. And actually, you know what? I'm going to change that right now into right. So now, you know, a lot of talk has been. There's been a lot of talk in the news about these tariffs that Trump has imposed on both Canada, Mexico, and has threatened to impose on China and European nations. And, you know, starting with the Apostle Tahar on down, man, we sincerely believe, strongly believe that Trump is narrow, but he's that guy that the Lord has in that seat to bring about the MOTB and World War III. Which are the last two final prophecies, major prophecies that are basically the highlight or the climax of Jacob's trouble, alongside with Yahushua's return and destroying Babylon the Great, and obviously the salvation of the hopeful elect. Now, when you get into tariffs, you know, I got a couple things I'm going to bring up real quick before, you know, tariffs are not an old thing or not a new thing, right? It's been around for a while. Now, I want to open up with this precept. Go to Luke. So I could bear with me one moment here. So you go to Luke 2. Oops. So you go to Luke 2 and 1. It says here, and it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. Okay, and it wasn't the whole world, but it was all the known world. Okay, at that time, the known world at that time. Okay, that they should be taxed, and this taxing was first made by Cyrenius. It was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria, and all went to be taxed, everyone into his own city. So if you were to do any kind of business within Rome or any part of the Roman Empire, right, you had to pay a tax. That's the same thing that America is doing today. Trump's doing it today with America, is basically any imports, all right, that come in from foreign countries are going to be more expensive in America, which would basically draw people away from buying foreign products and push them towards buying domestic products. Which all that means is that these countries lose a whole lot of money on their cash cow that they once had in America, because America is the biggest consuming country in the world right now. Okay? So so what Trump's doing with his tariffs, this guy's actually being very intelligent, okay? Because when you go back to the 1800s, about mid 1800s to about 1912, before the Federal Reserve Act was in place, you know, America, because of its industrial base, was booming, and they were rich, okay, off of tariffs, and basically there was no income tax. So America was running off of tariffs and taxes on imports and exports, and they basically made a committee, all right, to decide what they should do with the excess money. So when you look at what Trump's doing, a lot of people, a lot of these older heads of America look at this guy like a savior, because remember he said what, we're bringing up, this is the golden age, this is the beginning of the golden age. So if a brother bring out that precept, peace and safety. So that's the mindset this man brings out, right? That's why a lot of people now are basically excited, and you see all the nations of the world are basically capitulating to Trump because they thought he was just a talker, that he wasn't actually going to do it, because tariffs actually hurt your own country, right? Because obviously things in America are going to be more expensive, but Trump, he basically let them know that I'm willing to take a little bit of damage just to run you guys out of business. So you choose. Okay. And all of a sudden now Trudeau is sitting down with Trump talking about negotiations. Okay. So a couple things real quick here, and then the brother can pull out that precept, peace and safety. When you look up the word tariffs, I just looked it up in the Wikipedia just for edification for those of you at home. So you understand what's going on in the world, and you can link it to Bible prophecy.
That's right.
As I read in Luke 2:1, Caesar Augustus did the same thing. Okay. A tariff is a tax imposed by the government of a country or by a supernatural union on imports or exports of goods. Besides being a source of revenue for the government, okay, so at one time, America's so-called golden age was referred to the 1800s. America was sustaining itself based upon tariffs without even having any federal income tax, and that's what Trump is basically. What's the word? He's foreshadowing. Okay, that's what he's foreshadowing with these with this move he's making with these tariffs. Okay, these threats he's making with these tariffs. So it says, besides being a source of revenue for the government, import duties can also be a form of regulation of foreign trade and policy that taxes foreign products to encourage a safeguard domestic industry. So in layman terms, that forces people to shop domestically instead of foreignly. Okay, so cars go out of a lot of the cars in America are foreign. A lot of things in America are foreign. Damn near 80% of things are imported that are in America are imported.
90%, yeah.
So it says protective tariffs are among the most widely used instruments of protectionism, along with import quotas and export quotas and other non-tariff barriers to trade. So, although this man works for the small hats, because every president that's in office basically has to bend to the small hats, he's still a nationalist. He's about that spirit of making again, MAGA, right? Making America. So this is I'll pull up some stuff here real quick. This is just paint a picture, and illustrate, for those of you at home, like how this devil, when you read Job 9:24, it's manifolds, man. Okay, it's manifolds. He obviously, he rules the world through his philosophies, his lies, but also his economic strength, financial strength, military strength. Okay, so this is I just typed up how much does the world's GDP depend on America? Okay, the world's GDP. So it says the United States contributes about a quarter of the world's GDP in 2022.
Wow.
The US GDP was around 25 trillion, which was about a quarter of the global GDP. Okay, it says the US accounts for 26% of global economy in 2023. It goes on to say the US has the largest GDP in the world. You see, the largest gross domestic product is America.
Yep.
That's that whore that rides upon the beast. And we're gonna get these precepts out and play this clip and such, but just got a little bit more to go through. It says in 2025, the US GDP was estimated to be over 28 trillion. And then China is second largest economy in the world, which a lot of China's economy relies on what? American consumers.
Yeah.
You see? So a lot of these nations, because before Trump, you had Biden, right? And Biden was Sleepy Joe. So a lot of these nations basically got a break. They were able to, walk around strutting their chest, band together, build a BRICS nation and do all these things. But Trump's a whole different spirit. He's a whole different spirit. He's not one to lay down. He's the one to make you get down and lay down. So that's what he's doing. And now all these nations are feeling the squeeze. And they never thought he would really do this, but this is what is going to. This is the Lord working on the hatred of the beast, which is going to lead to World 3.
Right.
Yeah.
Hatred of the whore, Slacky, not the beast, the whore.
Because to add on to that, brother, because not only does he plan to put tariffs on Canada and Mexico, but he's also looking at the EU as well. And he's like, for sure, we're putting tariffs on you guys.
Yes.
Right. And that's going to lead into the beast saving the whore for sure.
That's right.
All of America's allies turn.
Yeah, they're gonna turn. They're gonna turn against him.
Right. Yeah. So this says, according to recent data, the United States accounts for roughly 25 to 26% of the world's GDP, meaning a significant portion of the global economy relies on the American economy. A big portion of the world's economy relies on America's economy. This makes the U.S. the largest single economy globally. Okay, so America is not no wimp. They're still strong as ever, right? And that's how the Most High has them set up, right? Because of prophecy.
Right, there you go. That's the word. You said it, brother. Because of prophecy.
That's right.
Playing out. Go ahead.
Brother can bring out that precept, peace and safety, Baba Kasha.
Ryan, do you have that? 1 Thessalonians 5:3. Can you bring that up, Baba Kasha?
I got it. 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, and sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
Exactly, man. So again, that Trump, the scriptures say that marvel not, even when Satan himself transforms himself into an angel of light, and that's what this guy's doing. All right, to the American people, especially you, Jakes. Really, that's only the people that we're concerned about. All right, you're trusting this guy, and you think America's about to be great again, which means you're gonna scoff even harder at the prophets, because we're telling you that America's done. Doesn't matter how good it so-called looks. That's smoke and mirrors, man. At the end of the day, prophecy is going to be fulfilled. So it says then sudden destruction is going to come, because eventually the Most High is going to put the spirit on these nations, these world leaders, other nation leaders, to turn on this whore and just say F it, man.
God,
we're tired of this. We're tired of this nonsense. Okay, that's that. Any brothers have any other precepts before I play this clip?
Baba Kasha, can you read the next precept next to it, brother? 1 Thessalonians 5:4 in the meantime.
Okay.
Yeah, the next verse as well, just to tie it in. Read them again together, Baba Kasha.
5, 4. All right. Okay. It says 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Right. Ye are all the children of light. I mean, should I keep reading, or
no? That's the point. Just wanted to, right? It's going to overtake them. Simply put, that's what's going on here, and this is going into the Lord's will. But I just want to say real quick, Brother Mayan, real quick, just grab me Isaiah 10:1, because in regards to those tariffs, just want to speak not too much on it, but simply put, it goes into their unrighteous decrees. This we know, okay?
Ready for
But
it?
it's prophecy. Go ahead. 10 and 1.
This
And
is,
that's the point.
this is Isaiah 10.
Hold on a second. Before we get to there, we have to break down that precept,
Which one?
the one you just read.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Okay,
Go ahead.
yeah.
Cause we got
Because
newer. We
you
got
brethren
newer.
are not in darkness. We're not in darkness because we know we're the children of the light, right? The elect. The man
That's
that
right.
teaching his truth, his word. All right, it's not going to overtake us, right? It's not going to catch us by surprise because we're preparing ourselves for these times.
That's right.
God,
All right.
that's right, man. God, beautiful.
Simply put, beautiful.
This is Isaiah 10 and 1.
Mhm.
It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness, which they have prescribed.
Right. Simply put. Go ahead. Go ahead. Break it down, brother. Take your time.
Pretty much these devils are pretty much making unrighteous laws, right? They're making unrighteous laws that, sorry.
Take your time. Take your time.
It said, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. So pretty much they're making unrighteous laws, right? And that right grievousness. So these laws are pretty much harsh laws that they're placing on the people, right?
Mhm.
Which they have prescribed. So these things, they sit in their high oval offices, and they write these laws to pretty much persecute not just the men of the Lord or the elect, but even their own people. They're pretty much collateral damage to them.
Yes, yes, and exactly, and tying it to Trump and everything he's doing, right? Technically, what he's doing isn't an unrighteous decree, but it is what you read later, which it prescribes grievousness, right? These tariffs grieves the nations because now their economy, which relies on American consumers to buy their stuff, is going to be affected. Is going to be affected very seriously. He's talking about 50 to 100% tariffs. You know what I mean? That's serious business. So this man is basically squeezing the monopoly on that, and he's causing that grievousness, which is again going to tie these nations to hate the war.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Verse 2, it says, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob their the fatherless. So pretty much it says to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people. So pretty much these laws are taking away the right that we have in this society, right? Because things that was supposed to be ours, they're now making laws and taking it away from us, right? And it says that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. And we know that we are the fatherless because Yahweh is not dealing with us right now. And we're actually the widows. We are actually widows too, right? Verse 3.
And Con, and basically too, when you go into the economy, right? Because now what are they saying? They always come and blame you, so-called Negroes, Latinos, or North American Indians when it comes to the crime, when it comes to what's going on, is, because you have all this what's it called? Fed aid, federal aid, right?
Yeah.
Federal aid that Trump threatened to get rid of, and he was taken to court and all that kind of stuff. Who do you think consumes the majority of that federal aid? You so-called Negroes, Latino, North American Indians. So when you look at the system, and the scriptures say our people are like a bull caught in a net, that net is that system, right? And it's primarily designed to deprive the nation of Israel of justice within the family structure, food, health, and their education, everything else.
Let me concur with what you're saying. So there's this federal aid. They have an international one that actually just stopped immediately. And there's 5 different entities in Jamaica who depend on that aid. And now they're crying, right? Because they're not getting, they're supposed to go to the hospital, and they can't go because that money was supposed to treat them while they go to the hospital. That's done. That's cut off. So it's affecting Jake firsthand, right?
Yeah, that's right.
The poor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor. Yeah.
Needy.
Con.
Verse 3, and what will he do in the day of visitation, right? This is a question asked the Most High is asking these people, man. And in the desolation which shall come from afar, and this desolation is coming from afar. It's coming from Russia. It's coming from China. It's coming from North Korea. This desolation will come, right? And it says, to whom will he flee for help? Because at this time, the people who was his allies, which is the European Union and everybody else, they hate him now. That's why it says in Revelation, the 10 horns shall hate the whore. And this is what that's going into, because nobody's gonna want to help them, right? And where will he leave your glory? So the glory of that cup that's in his hand, that golden cup that he was fed by Yahweh, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be taken away from him. Where is he gonna? What are you gonna do with it? Nothing. You're gonna have to be hiding now in these bunkers.
Well, as well as the glory of America will be forgotten in terms of, you know, what it once was, but what will be remembered for sake of reproach, right, will be its wickedness and its downfall. You know, the wickedness that it spread throughout the earth. That's why, you know, you're going to have all kinds of different beasts and animals that are going to live in America after it's destroyed. You're right, which is a representation of America itself. You know.
Verse 4, it says, without me they shall bow down under the prisoners, and they shall fall under the slain. For all this is anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched forth. So no matter what, they're going to get destroyed, because the anger of the Most High is not going to be turned away from them, right? He's pretty much sending Yahushai to come and decimate them, pursuant to Isaiah 63, right? And when you go into verse 5, it says, O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger, and the staff in their hand is mine indignation, right? So these Assyrians, the Most High had used them in the past to actually do his work. In fact, he's using them now to do his work, right? Yeah, so
Right.
Yeah, pretty much. That's all you want.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's all I wanted, right? Simply just to go into that in regards.
Let me get 6. 6 is going to finish it off.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
It says, I will send him against an hypocritical nation. And this hypocritical nation is what's going on right now. Like we spoke about Jamaica, who's not getting that aid. Jamaica is actually a hypocritical nation, because they're of the body of the children of Israel. They're the Benjamite, right? And it says, and against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge. And right now the Most High is actually mad at us, right? So he gave the Assyrians charge to whoop our asses, right? And it says to take the spoil and take the prey and tread them down like the mire of the streets. Yeah, so this is actually what's happening right now. He's taking away all the benefits from the poor and needy, right? So they can be trampled down, so they can be beaten. And pretty much this is actually the end of the punishment that the children of Israel is experiencing by the hand of these Assyrians, these Babylonians, these Chaldeans.
Well, yeah, we're at the beginning of the end of what you're talking about in terms of the treading down as it mired the streets, because things are brewing. And best believe this devil, Trump, he's going to basically force that, he's going to persuade that negative narrative of Israel, of you so-called Latinos and North American Indians throughout the whole country. And that's why it's going to be called Jacob's trouble, because you're going to be persecuted. You see, you're going to be persecuted, and the Lord is only going to protect his elect in that time. You know, so a lot of you Jakes that are rebels, and you mock and you scoff and you scorn, you're going to be trampled in the streets by this man's military. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Beautiful.
Okay, so play the clip here, and then we'll get some more precepts. Oh.
7.
Okay, speed up a little bit.
Hours has been insane. Seriously, I've been in the news. And here we go, folks. The news over the past 48 hours has been insane. Seriously, I've been in the news business a long time. I don't think I've ever seen it like this.
There are growing fears of a major global trade war tonight after President Trump announced sweeping tariffs on imports from Canada, Mexico, and China.
President Trump is not bluffing. He's officially thrown down the gauntlet and declared economic war on the BRICS nations and Mexico and Canada all in the same day. And the worst part for those countries is that it was all preventable. They thought that Trump was bluffing. He doesn't bluff. And now crap is hitting the fan. What does all this mean for the U.S. dollar? What does it mean for grocery prices here at home, gas prices, oil prices? And most importantly, how
Right, because you have to remember the tariffs are not going to affect America as much as it would affect Canada, Mexico, and all these other countries, because all these other countries, their GDP, like America, like right now, Canada's GDP is like $2 trillion. Okay, and about 38% of Canada's GDP relies on imports in America, on trade with America. 38%, so almost 50% of the country's GDP relies on trade deals with America. And America relies up to, I think, 3 to 4% on Canada for trade deals, because America is more of a consuming nation than an exporting nation. Okay, so other nations rely on America to help finance their economy. When you go to China and America, America is only affected by 3 to 4% in trade with China. China double triples that. So what Trump did with these tariffs was actually like genius in terms of a devil.
Yeah.
He was very, very business calculated. So what he did is he basically took the monopoly of global trade, which basically makes America that top dog. Because if you guys can't take a tariff as long as we can take it, because we consume your goods.
Right.
So if you want to keep going with us, your whole economy will be out of business. Then you'll be in a worse state than you are now. Okay, you don't want to do that? Go to Europe. Oh, we're gonna go to Europe. Go to Europe. Europe is in shambles right now.
Right.
You can't make money out of Europe. America is that cash cow. Okay, so what Trump did was ingenious, but the Heavenly Father is working with this devil to fulfill prophecy.
That's right.
That's right. Well, I was gonna say, I was reading the article today, and it said Trump is he's gonna go to Jerusalem and try to create the peace with the two countries that are warring, Iran.
Yeah.
I mean, in the
Ishmael and Amalek.
Yeah, and Amalek. So here, what's happening now? He's saying he's gonna go there, and if they kill him there, he's saying he's gonna set up the place to create the peace. If they kill him there, to annihilate Iran. So that's what he said today in the news, that he's gonna go to Jerusalem and set up shop, like what it said in the Bible, that there's gonna be a king, right? In that time, who's gonna come and play God, which this is what Trump is doing.
2 Thessalonians 5, right?
Yeah, and he's gonna set up and try to squash all the peace. You know, everything's playing into plan, man. Everything's like going right to accord on the Bibles. Everything's on point, man. It's just all lined up.
That's right. That's right. I got a quick one. Just to
leader.
Bob Kushak.
All of this. We're heading for
Okay. Go ahead.
Quick one, yeah. So I'm going to go to Revelation 17:1. The word there is judgment, and that's what we're talking about in regards to prophecy. There's judgment coming to this great whore. So Revelation 17:1, it says, and there came one of the 7 angels which had 7 vials, and talked with me, saying, come up here, right? I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. So simply put,
You know what? Salaka, you know what? Let me play a clip, a little bit more of that, and bring that out right after.
all right, Baba
That's
Kushak.
going to go well with what's coming up. Baba Kasha, Salaka.
No, that's beautiful. Bring it up.
nations and Mexico and Canada all in the same day. And the worst, the gauntlet, and declared economic war on the BRICS nations and Mexico and Canada all in the same day. And the worst part for those countries is that it was all preventable. They thought that Trump was, he doesn't bluff. And now crap is hitting the fan. What does all this mean for the US dollar? What does it mean for grocery prices here at home, gas prices, oil prices? And most importantly, how will the BRICS leaders, Putin and China, respond to all of this? We're heading for a direct economic showdown. So we're going to get to all of that today in detail. But first, things are about to get really in Trump. For years, these world leaders have gotten used to weak leadership.
Dream of a brighter tomorrow with the Princess Margaret Home Lottery. Grand prize ever. $1 million.
Weak leadership, yeah.
Is testing President Trump. and on purpose. A nation state or someone inside.
Well, that weak leadership is Biden. That's who these elites, man, they're puppet masters. You know what I mean? They're extreme puppet masters. They control the narrative. You had all these different people that came up. Biden, before Biden was Trump, his first tenure, and then before him was Obama, and so on and so forth. So when you go into it, up until now, all these administrations that were set up were basically set up to completely tank and demolish America so that Trump would come in as that so-called saving grace. Right?
Yeah.
It's a narrative. They're playing a narrative. So now when he comes in with the Avengers, his Avengers, you got Elon, you got Jeff Bezos, you got Zuckerberg, all these guys, it puts that, and then they tweet the golden age, right? When you go into the golden age, it goes back to the golden order of dawn, golden dawn, the order of the golden dawn. You go into them. That's basically a Masonic cult, okay, hidden cult. So this is all a narrative that's painted by, that's created by the small hats to basically bring about the NWO. Okay, all of it is going back to the NWO, and then it's going to play out in prophecy as well with the World War III.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
Our government is testing President Trump. For years, these world leaders have gotten used to weak leadership in Washington, and right now they're testing Trump's resolve. Trump's mantra has always been promises made, promises kept. And guess what? He's keeping one of his biggest promises yet. He's taking a firm stand against the BRICS nations to protect the US dollar. This is a move he's been signaling for a while now, and it's finally here. Yesterday, February 1st, Trump imposed massive tariffs on Mexico and Canada and one of the leading BRICS nations, China. And he took it a step further, warning the other BRICS nations if they attempt to undermine the dollar, they'd be looking at a 100% tariff.
The tariffs are going to make us very rich and very strong.
Sure, we might get rich off of this, but Trump didn't pull any punches, admitting that, grocery prices may go up in the short term.
There could be some temporary short-term disruption, and people will understand that.
And then he went right after the BRICS nations, posted this on Truth Social, and I want to read it to you verbatim. The idea that the BRICS to move away from
Yeah, Con, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
That's the reason why he wants Canada, Greenland, Mexico for their resources, so he can combat against BRICS, because BRICS is about to bring forth a new quote unquote currency backed by resources. Right? They're saying to hell with the US dollar.
Yeah.
There's nothing, it's not backed by anything, right? Let's back our reserve currency with actual resources that we have in our land. That's going to benefit us. Right. So Trump knows that, and that's why he's going after the lands with resources, so to speak, right?
That's why Trump wants to get Trudeau to become the 51st state, because they want to control Canada to benefit themselves in the Greenland and up in Alaska, where they're supposed to have a little piece of Alaska up there, but they're trying to conquer and lock the whole Arctic, the whole Canada, bring their troops in, Well,
and you know what it will do too, because remember the BRICS is the BRICS are small fries compared to the UN.
That's right.
Yeah,
the BRICS are small fries, so the UN is really cool. It's really what he's doing with trying to make a Mexico, and can you look at North America? That whole landmass coming down, being one country, would give America, it was huge, would give them that economic strength, military strength, financial strength against the United Nations, even bigger than BRICS. Because in the United Nations, all the nations that are there, I think 60% of the military force of the United Nations comes from America. Maybe a brother can fact check that, but I think it's about 60%. So when 60% of the military of UN comes from America, who do you think is calling the shots? And that's why Trump, at the same time, he's pointing the finger at all these other countries, like, okay, what did we as a nation get from supplying you a military and protecting you? Because the agreement is, if any United Nation gets attacked, all the other nations have to step in and help. So all these other nations are relying basically mainly on the United States military. So Trump is using that as a monopoly, right? To have grip over these nations.
Yeah.
To add
You
on
see
to
what I'm
that,
saying? Yeah, go ahead.
so
Yeah,
that-
go ahead.
like these NATO nations, they're required to be putting 2% of their GDP into the military. Into
Tawana, yeah, Salaki, NATO nations, yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so Canada's not doing that. Most of these nations are not meeting the quota.
Not
That's
even.
why Trump is gunning for all these nations. It's
Yeah.
like, you guys
That's
are not
right.
meeting the quota. We
Yeah.
already had a signed agreement
That's
that
right.
you agreed to, and you're not putting
not
in your
putting
money into the military.
You're not pulling
That's
it
right.
out.
You're not pulling your weight, you know?
That's right, man. That's right. And he's smart for that because
Right.
he has weight,
Leverage, yeah.
his leverage.
Yeah.
Because if you sign something in writing, document, okay, yeah, we're gonna put our 2%, then you're expected to do that.
Yeah, fall
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And now you're not doing that, then you know.
Yep. It leaves you as the borrower, but the borrower instead of the lender.
Mhm.
You know?
Okay.
Okay. So play a little
Did this on Truth Social, and I want to read it to you verbatim. The idea that the BRICS countries are trying to move away from the dollar while we stand by
Remember, to keep in mind, this is what Trump's saying. Okay, Trump tweeted this.
social, and I want to read it to you verbatim. The idea that the BRICS countries are trying to move away from the dollar while we stand by and watch is over. We are going to require a commitment from these seemingly hostile countries that they will neither create a new BRICS currency nor back any other currency to replace the mighty US dollar, or they will face 100% tariffs and should expect to say goodbye to selling in the wonderful US economy. They can go find another sucker nation. There is no chance that BRICS will replace the US dollar in international trade or anywhere else, and any country that tries should say hello to tariffs and say goodbye to America. Boom.
Right. So that's heavy. That's a heavy statement because Revelation 18. I'm gonna get that right now.
Yeah, bring it out. Bring it
Yeah,
out.
come.
That's the spirit.
Before you do that, can I finish off this precept because it lands perfectly with what you're going into, brother.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Revelation 17:1. Real quick, it says, "And there came one of the seven angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying, Come up here, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters." So I went there. The many waters is they're going into peoples, nations, and tongues, and so forth, right? Mainly people. That's what it's going into. And you can link this with Revelation 13:1 and pull up the word waters. But real quick, I want to read on the word judgment, and then you can go to it, because this is going into prophecy in regards to the destruction of this thing, so of this system that is here. So it says here, in regards to judgment, real quick, I had it hold it here. It says judgment, action of trying at law. So we're in that great court scene, simply put. But what I want to get to is this. It says the capacity of making decisions, right? But we know Yehovah Shem Yoshai has made those decisions already. That's why we're here to tell you what's going to happen before it happens. And you're living in it, right? So the capacity of making decisions, right? And then it says legal judgment. Okay. So basically, the judgment goes into destruction also, right? Because it says decisions, and decisions, we're going to go into these scriptures. I just wanted to bring that. But for you folks, you can go into the word judgment, right? Look at it in etymology and look at it also in the scripture of what was just read, right? And verse 2, real quick, it says, just to tie it in, right? Revelation 17:2. It says, second here. It says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication. So, hey, they've signed off all these nations, these small fries and what have you. So they've signed off. Right now, they're realizing, oh, we made a mistake. Well,
Yeah.
it's going to come out in the lesson more. And
Oh yeah, you're right. They've made a mistake because you have to understand when you look at the Masonic order of these small hats, it's big. So a lot of you have the puppet masters and then you have the puppets. Those puppets don't know that they have a master puppeted them. You know what I mean? A lot of them don't know that. So when you go into the fact that these guys have committed fornication, basically they've agreed with America going back, centuries and decades ago, to commit fornication, basically trade deals to further the prosperity of the rich, right? Which comes by bribery, wickedness, injustice. You can't, when you consolidate wealth into a small group of people, but that aren't supposed to rule, okay? Because Esau, Edom isn't supposed to rule, or he isn't supposed to be the righteous rule. But I'll just say this: when you consolidate wealth into a small amount of people, you can only do that by unrighteous decrees, taxes, usury, right?
Right.
Drugs and medicine, right? To keep the perpetual sickness going, so you get paid more.
Yep.
Right? It comes with a bunch of wickedness in the economy when you're working with Babylon. Okay.
To add on to that too, right? People think that Babylon profits just off of this regular stock market, but there's also like a black market too.
There you go.
That's where they really profit.
That's where they profit even more.
The underground market, right? With the drugs, guns, all type of crazy shit.
Yep, you're right.
Selling of organs, right?
Babies.
That's right. That's right.
The AD, right? Where they get
beautiful.
babies.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
That stuff, that's money. And so here it is, you might, they got Amazon, these storefront shops, online shops. You thinking that's the economy. The real economy is really the black market.
Right. Balenciaga.
Right?
When you buy a certain amount of clothing, you're investing in trafficking of children. So yes, these nations have committed beautiful point, Shammai. Beautiful point, because these nations have committed fornication with America through these means. And you're right. The main market is that black market, because a baby of certain metrics and whatnot goes for a high price. A high ass price, man. These guys are wicked for that.
That's right.
So yeah, go ahead. You have verse 2. Go ahead.
Yeah. Just a quick thing there. Powerful point. Just the biblical usage of what the brother just broke down. It says to be given to idolatry, to worship idols, right? And we know this word goes back. Fornication goes back to the word pornography. So yes, they're committing it in both ways, spiritually and physically, right? In regards to the idolatrous ways. All right, verse 2.
Well, hey, that idolatry, if trade deals are being done through money, look at the American dollar. The American dollar bill is an idol in itself.
That's right.
Right, with all its symbols, inscriptions, and everything else. Right. So when you look at these nations, when they do deals with America, guess what? Their dollar has to come. They have to switch their currency. They have to do it through American currency.
Right. And
that's fornication. So best believe the leaders of these countries, they're in the same clubs as the leaders in America, because they worship the same deities, the same gods. So it's nothing for them to accept fiat currency with the Eye of Horus and all these different symbolism on them, because they go to the same parties anyways.
That's right. That's right.
And
go ahead. Yep.
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Show you the witchcraft of the American dollar. It's not even the strongest dollars. The pound, the British pound, is like the strongest, right? Sometimes the euro dollar trades higher than the US dollar, right? People want the American dollar. They don't want the British pound. When you go to the islands, when you go to Caribbean, when you go to Jamaica, they don't care for Canadian, they don't care for GBP, they want the US dollar. And
it's true.
I'll show you there's witchcraft on it. And it's not even the highest trading dollar in the world. Right.
It's just a lust.
Dollar.
Yeah, you're right, brother. It's just the lust of making money from America. So you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yep.
I'll just finish off verse 2, and it says, Revelation 17:2, with whom all the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk. This is what the brother Ahmad broke down, and then more things were added at the end with brother Shemayim, right? Drunk with the wine of our fornication. That's the point.
Yep. Yep. Who sit upon the scarlet made drunk. So basically, yeah, exactly. So they got addicted to making money off of America. That's basically what it is. Yeah. These guys, these nations. Why do you think Trudeau is like, okay, let's talk negotiations? You know, because all these nations are drunk off of America. They've become addicted to making money off of America. So what did that do? That gave Trump power and monopoly over economic trade.
And these things are meant to happen too, you know, because that hate has to start from now. And the hate is actually going to be building up, because the EU nations, yeah, they hate him, but they don't hate him that much to actually, you know what I'm saying, eat his flesh, if you know what I mean by that, you know?
Yeah.
And so the hate has to be that huge that they're gonna have to do that in the end, you know what I'm saying? So the hate is building up. So this is just a small portion of what's really going to happen, you know what I'm saying? And I wanted to just jump into this BRICS thing that you mentioned, right? It says here that the BRICS, why is BRICS important, right? I looked this up and it says it's an economic power. The BRICS nation together represents over 40% of the world's population, and it's growing because Indonesia just put it in to join them too. And it says, of the world's population, and about 25% of global GDP. Challenge to the West, right? They seek to reduce dependence on the US dollar and create alternative financial system. And Erdogan, that guy from is it Turkey, he is a part of NATO, right? And he wants to join BRICS. Serbia wants to join BRICS too, right? So this is showing you that there's going to be a serious hatred coming from Europe hitting the West, right? So this hate is going to be so huge, it's going to build up to a point of like, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to just shoot these things at the horse.
You have to, man. You have to. You're right. You have to, because look at how powerful America, the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shah, has made America. Mm-hmm. You name BRICS, right? BRICS is like what, 3, 4, 5 countries, 6 countries?
Brazil, India,
Russia, Brazil, Russia, India,
China, Korea,
South Africa,
South Korea, and South Africa.
South Africa.
I got it here. It's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa.
Right. That's 5 nations, okay, against one. You know what I mean?
Be adding members too.
Exactly, to compete against one nation.
Yeah,
shows you the power. Exactly, it shows you the power of America.
That's right.
You see, so when you look at that, and you see that what Mayan read, that they're just going to start shooting missiles on this whore. It's because they need to band together to take her out. Mm-hmm. But it all plays out to prophecy.
That's right.
Can I bring this quick?
That's it.
Okay, Khan. Go ahead, Ashar.
Yeah, because you said it in the last sentence of the word prophecy. This is the book of Jeremiah 50:1. I'll read in GNT. This is the message that Jeremiah got. So this is the message that the Lord Yahweh gave me about the state of Babylon and his people. Tell the news, the nations, proclaim it. To hear, we're telling you. This is not like we're making it up, or we just woke up and let's get together and make a video and talk about this. This is the Heavenly Father speaking. Give the signal, give the signal and announce the news. Brother Matt every day news and prophecy, news and prophecy. So continually, you're gonna see this coming more often, and it's not a game. It's a serious business.
Yeah.
They said, "Do not keep a secret," and this is what we do.
That's
As
right.
plain as it is. There's no filters here.
Gone.
The brothers we filter the news through the scriptures. You know.
Gone.
Gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
I'm on. Elder, I got something.
Come. Go ahead.
Yeah. I said I was done, but I found something else. So they added, so the BRICS nation, as of February 25th, has expanded beyond its original 5 members, which were the ones we mentioned before, to include several new countries, including Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. They all joined in January 2025.
Hey, so look at all these nations that are joined together to ban against America.
Mhm.
Job 9:24 has manifolds, man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know that these are multiple countries with like economies, trades, industry, you know, all this stuff in their economies. They all have to get together to face one whore.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yo, that's heavy, man.
That's how much
It
power.
makes sense. Yeah,
That's
go
how
ahead.
much
Go
power
ahead.
I was gonna say that's how much power the whore has. The most I give
Exactly.
the whore a lot of power.
Mhm.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. Additionally, BRICS has established partnership framework. So even though you have those countries who are like members, they have partnerships with other countries such as Belarus,
Hmm.
Bolivia, Cuba, Indonesia, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Thailand, Uganda, and Uzbekistan. These partner countries are on the potential to get full membership in the future. So
Hmm.
the entire world is pretty much coming together to take this whore down.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. That's right. Because it's Trump. Yo, Trump is a madman. These people, these guys, these nations, and Ashar, I'm gonna let you finish. I know you
Yeah.
had a little bit more. I'm gonna let you finish, brother. These nations, they look at Trump and they thought he was just a businessman. You just talk and you just strutting your chest. He's narrow. He's applying action to what he's saying. So now that puts a squeeze on these nations. They're looking at America like, yo, you're too much of a threat. We were okay when you were a threat, but we were making money off of you. Now you're too much of a threat. We got to take you out because now, not because Trump, his mindset is, yo, America on top of everybody. Like if he could make the whole world one country, he would do it and put it under America.
That's right.
Well, just to add on to your point, Ak,
Yeah,
that's pretty much going into the globalization of the the RFID, man.
Oh,
yeah,
If he's able to collapse all, the EU's economy,
that's the plan.
Mexico's economy, right? And basically,
Yeah.
submit to my will, submit. So then basically you then have to submit because you don't have the power to do anything else.
yeah,
So you eventually have to force, join hand with the devil, even though they're all other devils, but other devil nations, but
yeah.
you gotta join with the major devil, the great whore,
That's right. That's right.
and
That's right.
be the one world currency, basically.
Yep.
You know?
Mhm.
Go ahead, Ashar. Go finish up your
Oh
stuff.
no,
Go ahead,
that was
brother.
it. That was the last preset on that.
Mhm. Quick precept because
Okay.
young elder said they're mad, so he's not saying stuff out of his head. He's prophesying. Brother Ashar, you in Jeremiah 50. Can you jump down to the 38th verse, Baba Shah, just to hit that out of the park, right? Because
And then Shemai, you can go.
It's but Benny has a after.
Okay, Benny, you can go after Malak. Go ahead, Malak.
Yeah, Jeremiah 50 and 38. It says a drought is upon our waters, and they shall be dried up, or it is the land of graven images. All right, and we know that's spiritual and literal, right? All right, because their images go back also into their philosophies and their laws, and they are mad
Yeah, the system.
upon their idols. That's right, upon their idols.
System.
And they got a big mad idol there that everybody's drunk over. But it's about their system as well. Anyway, that's the point. Jeremiah 15:38.
Yeah, the image, that image, because that image is a system that the people live off of. Everyday Israelites and everyday Edomites don't have no idea what the hell's going on, man. Their whole existence is based upon the system that the government created for them.
Right.
You have to really think about that. That's heavy, because the government, the system that's placed upon them, which is based upon the government, are men like them, and not just men like them, but they're baser men than them. Talking about you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and North American Indians that scoff at this truth. You have to understand, if you scoff at this truth, you're agreeing with the way Esau Edom wants to rule the world and wants to rule an economy, while he is a baser creature than anything created. If you're the top thing created and Esau Edom isn't even second, where do you think he is on the list? He's beyond down there. The Lord said, out of everything he created, Esau Edom is the basis of all things created. He's a base man. But you Jakes, you rather listen to Esau Edom because you think the kingdom is this. You think the kingdom is America. Just like you thought Jerusalem, just like you thought the promised land was Egypt. It's the same spirit. Go ahead, Shema. Go.
All right.
Shema.
I got a quick one here.
Yes, Benji. Yeah, Benji.
Okay, Benji,
Isaiah 14 verse 4. It says that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how has the oppressor seized, the golden city seized? The Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai has broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers.
Yeah, it's not going to make sense to a lot of people when they see Trump's decisions come to failure. Because his decisions that he's making are very strategic. They're very business wise, and they're smart. America has been looked at as that great nation. So when they start to see the decline in a heavy state, they're going to be looking like, oh, what the heck? You know what I mean? And then scriptures say that the nation shall, the weak shall say that I'm strong.
Yeah.
They think that this man is a symbol of hope, that this is going to actually help them, but this is going to actually bring them down into a decline, right? The people who aren't going to feel this are the elites, the one with the millions, the trillions, but the little the little poor man on the side of the road who live in their shacks. They're gonna they're gonna feel it the most.
That's a fact, Doc. That's a fact.
Go ahead, Jay.
Yep.
Verse
that's a fact.
I just read this last part. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, Salakia, is prosecuted and none hindereth.
So this whooping that's been taking place, because what you just read is not just today or yesterday. This has been going on from time, right? This has been going on from time, but now it's going to come to an end, right? Because their kingdom is deteriorating. Their kingdom is coming to an end. So these leaders, these elites, these kings, they're going to feel it. They're going to get their backs broken. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's true.
That's
That's
right.
true.
Teeth and back pulled out, teeth pulled out and back broken. Right.
Yeah. I have a precept
because of money. Because of money.
Beautiful.
You know what I mean? Money. That thing gives you monopoly on when you can control, when you can get the majority of money in circulation, you control the circulation. Then they don't not button them in.
Yeah, I could keep going, but I'm not gonna continue. You guys can bring on something.
You can jump down real quick though to verse 9, just for those at home for edification. That this is happening.
Yeah, that's what I said. I could
Yeah,
have
real quick.
more.
Real quick,
And then
verse 9, brother.
Mayan,
Okay.
and then Mayan
Mhm.
to get his precept. Go ahead.
Verse 9 says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It has raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations.
Right. That's it. That's the point. I just wanted to get into the word hell, that is describing this place, whore. Okay. And what's going on. That's what it's referring to. Bad times.
Yup.
Okay, that's what's going on here. Nothing else. Okay, and it's all stirred up, right? As far as the chief ones go on the earth, starting with the Lord's men, okay, the chief ones, okay, right, and against also those kings of the nations. But the main point I just wanted to bring out was hell. That's America. What's going on, right? And the Lord is the one that's brought it, and it's prophecy. That's the point. But,
Yeah.
Mayan, go ahead.
Okay, so you mentioned that they do these things for money, for wealth, right? When you go into Habakkuk 2:5, it's a wealth is treacherous, right? And when you look up the word treacherous, it means guilty of or involving betrayal or deception. And we know that these people got their wealth wickedly by tricking people, because like we say all the time, there's no such thing as an honest businessman, right? But how far are these devils willing to go to get their wealth? You get me? Now it says wealth is treacherous and the arrogant are never at rest. And we know who the arrogant is. The arrogant are these Babylonians, these Edomites, these Assyrians. These are the arrogant that it's speaking about, right? They're never
in 2/3.
Right? And it says, they open their mouth as wide as the grave, and like death, they are never satisfied, right? Because what? America is prospering, they're going good. But what? This proud guy comes in, and what he want to do? He want to get their nations even more wealthier than other nations by robbing them, by adding these 25% tariff on these other countries, right?
Yep.
And then it says and never satisfied. In their greed, they have gathered up many nations, right? And this is what they do, right? They go around, they rob Venezuela from everything that they have. Venezuela now is like one of the worst countries in the world, one of the richest countries in the world, but they're not rich because they're not using their resources properly, because America do what? Rob them, right?
Yeah, and the nations, they're basically monopolizing or controlling the monopoly on the resources in those countries.
Gone.
Them heathens.
Yep. Right. And then verse 6, it says, but soon their captives will taunt them. So the captives are the man of the Lord, the elect. Those are the captives, and they're going to taunt them, because we're going to look at them and be like, yo, is this the man? Right? Is this the man that let nations tremble? You know? It says, but soon their captives will taunt them. They will mock them, saying, what sorrow awaits you thieves? And every day we're up on the highways and the byways, we're mocking these devils, because we know what sorrow awaits them. We know what's coming for them. We know their final judgment. We got the insight on the inside. You get what I'm saying? And it says, now you will get what you deserve.
That's right.
Right? 10 times, right? You've become rich by extortion.
That's right.
Nice.
Right, but how much longer?
What's extortion? Extortion is just leverage, having the upper hand on somebody else.
Yep. Yeah, it's extortion. As you say, extortion. I look it up. It says the practice of obtaining something, especially money, through force or threats, which is what he's doing now.
Exactly.
Threatening 25% tariff to get what he want.
25, 50 to 100.
Yeah, he's going up high with it.
Yeah, and that's it. So you've become rich by extortion, but how much longer can this go on? So we're just patiently waiting for his judgment to be fulfilled, so we can laugh, so we can now, make fun of him. So suddenly, verse 7, suddenly your debtors will take action. They will turn on you and take all you have while you stand trembling and helpless. And we know who his debtors are, right? Yeah, that's it right here for me.
Con. I'll play a little bit more of this video and about 2 more minutes, and then we'll get a couple more precepts.
And boom goes the dynamite.
This isn't a minor slap on the wrist. This is a full-blown economic confrontation. Trump is not bluffing. He's made it clear. Promises made, promises kept. And then just like that, Putin responded. Yes, the Kremlin responded, saying BRICS is not looking to create a US dollar replacement currency. Wait, what? Are you kidding me? Seriously? For the last 2 years, BRICS has been working on a common currency backed by gold. They told us repeatedly during the Biden administration that while Biden was president, they were tired of being bullied by Washington, D.C. to settle transactions in US dollars. They were going to unleash their own gold-backed currency. So are they lying to save face versus Trump right now? Or do they seriously just scrap the plan because of a threat of 100% tariffs from Trump? I mean, that's some serious balls by Trump if they literally just back down like this. Actually shocking, really. I remember when the US dollar became the reserve currency of the world after World War II, countries in return got safety and security by our US military. Our US Navy would protect their trade in the open oceans. Now we can't do that anymore. Houthi rebels on rubber boats, for crying out loud, can stop trade in the Red Sea. This ship has sailed. Now what we offer these countries is trade in the United States. See how this works? Trump, by lowering corporate taxes to 15%, like he says he's going to do, will create America as the greatest place to do business in the world by a landslide.
Peace and safety, man. That golden age that he prophesied about.
So what we have
And
to
the BRICS
understand.
nations don't want to have 100% tariffs put.
Sorry, I was saying what we have to also
Go ahead.
understand is that Trump is not the only proud Edomite out there. Russia is proud too. You know, these nations are proud too. So they're not going to just stand back and let America bully them. You know, if they did say that, yeah, we're not going to really come out with a currency, they're just saying that to save face right now, you know, because their plan is not really fully fulfilled yet, you know.
Yeah.
They're proud too. They're also Edomites, you know, Egyptians against Egyptian.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Calm.
And it works out in our favor as well, because it's good to see these devils warring with each other. It's good to see the Edomite nation warring with each other. This whole thing between Canada and US, right? US and the EU. That's good. That's good for us, man. In our kingdom, we're going to be ruling in unity. We're not ruling in division and, you know, family feud, tribal feuds, and bullshit. The Lord doesn't want that this time around, man. He wants everything in unity and strength, man. Right?
Straight. Calm. Beautiful.
On them in order to prevent them from doing business there. That's actually much better than Navy ships protecting you in the Red Sea. You want to come here? Sorry, you better clean your act up. We're already seeing these tariffs this weekend. In China, it was totally preventable. All Trump wanted was for you, China, to stop fentanyl pouring across our border that comes from China. Plain and simple.
A lot of fentanyl comes through.
So, you know, that's a narrative thing, and this is also why he's gonna piss off. He's gonna piss off these other nations, because he's blaming these other nations for domestic corruption and family disorder and drug addiction. Like, he's blaming them for these things. So these are other things that are going to piss off the whore, or piss off these nations. But I got 2 precepts I want to bring out as well.
Let me just add this real quick.
Go ahead, brother.
Really, though, the U.S. is putting an economic strain on their own people, and they're turning to fentanyl. Right? Really, they're using it on their own will, but they're blaming the other nations for supplying it, so to speak. Right? But they're trying to avoid taking accountability from oppressing their own people and blaming the other nations. Oh, it's the Chinese.
That is it.
You know, it's the Mexican, the cartel.
They're pointing fingers.
Boogeyman.
Right. Yeah. But who's putting that strain on the people for them to even want to do that? Look at Philadelphia. If you go to Kensington Market, that place is a zombie land, man.
Yep.
Right? There's people strung out on drugs, leaning. Can't even do that.
Yeah.
Right? So, Laki, go ahead, bro.
No, that's beautiful. That's a good point, man. This is a beautiful point. This is Revelation 17 and 15.
Beautiful.
Read down to 18. And it reads here, I'm reading NLT. It says, the angel said unto me, the waters where the prostitute is ruling represents masses of people. That prostitute is America. Babylon the Great as well. America, though. That's America. People of every nation and language. The scarlet beast and his 10 horns are Slake. The scarlet beast.
Nation, Slaki, you can find every nation in America, right? Why do you think that there's all type of Palestinian protests going on throughout America? Right? There's Palestinians live in America. Every major city, you're gonna find that, right? All these, every nation you could think of is in America. That melting pot, right? They flow onto that whore, right? For a better life.
That's right. So called. Verse 16: the scarlet beast and his 10 horns all hate the prostitute. That's NATO and the EU. Okay, they will strip her naked, eat her flesh, and burn her remains with fire, nuclear missiles. For Yahweh Bashim Shai has put a plan into their minds, and it's like a plan that will carry out his purpose. Right? This is World War III. NWO and World War III. They will agree to give their authority to the scarlet beast, and so the words of Yahweh Bashim will be fulfilled. So we'll see what these negotiation talks bring, because Trump was very clear on what he wanted from America and Canada and Mexico. He wanted them to be a part of America. So, ultimately, we know this precept applies to these nations agreeing to bring about the NWO based upon, their economy. But who knows? Speaking as a man, this is not doctrine, but speaking as a man, who knows? Canada itself might be the 51st state of America. Because what else is Trudeau going to bargain with? Trump's not moving. He's like, yo, you got to become one of us, or we mess you up, one or the other.
I will say this as well, right? Brother Kazak, I posted in the chat, pretty much why are they setting up troops along the border? Why is Canada sending troops all along the border? They're pretty much saying it's for the reason of stopping fentanyl and all these things, but they could be preparing for something even bigger.
That's right.
Not necessarily war between Canada and the U.S., but war with the citizens of their respective nations.
Yeah, because remember, mind you, Trump and Trudeau had a sit down today, and it's talking about applying more black helicopters, task helicopters to patrol,
patrol the borders.
Shammai was saying, and more military.
Prepare to see more military presence, and they're trying to normalize that. They're trying to normalize that.
They're setting it up,
right? That message.
They're setting that up.
That energy, right?
That's a part. They're gonna spend. They said couple. I think I don't know if they said couple hundred, some millions.
10,000.
Millions to prepare it to happen. That's Trudeau's plan to slow down the tariffs. What Trump is doing, slow it down.
Okay.
Join to have that going on. So them say.
So Revelation 17:16 says, "And the scarlet beast and his 10 horns all hate the prostitute. They will strip her naked, eat her flesh, and burn her remains with fire. For Yahweh Bashim El Shai has put a plan in their minds, a plan that will carry out his purpose. They will agree to give their authority." So we'll see how it plays out in negotiation talks. Ultimately, that's going to lead to the MOTB. That's talking about the MOTB. All these nations are going to basically agree to a digitalization of the world, a global digitalization. They're going to agree to it. Okay. It says that will carry out his purpose. They will agreed to give their authority to the scarlet beast, and so the words of Yahweh Bashim Yeshua may be fulfilled. And this woman you saw in your vision represents the great city that ruled over the kings of the world. And we'll see. Maybe Canada will be the 51st state of America. And honestly, it's not that big of a deal because we're already tied with America.
Yeah, they're G20.
Right. Ultimately, right?
Yeah.
Ultimately.
These people, these morons, these Edomites, these proud Edomite Canadians, right?
Yeah.
They don't want it to happen, right? But
exactly,
it doesn't matter to us because we're prisoners of war. We're prisoners of war. We don't make the decisions in this place, right? Whatever happens, all the will of the Lord, anyways.
That's right.
Right?
Which is to fulfill prophecy.
Delivered from these devils,
right?
We need to be sovereign. You know what I mean? We need to be sovereign from these devils, right?
That's right.
You guys are telling us, oh, we're gonna be America, whatever. I don't know. That's bullshit, man. We need to be Israelites, man. We need the true righteous setup of being Israelites, man, in our home land. That's what we come down to.
When you think about it, kind of the army and the forces that they have is not very strong. It's weak, and President Trump said it, right? If we don't have kind of a back, they'll lose any war, which is true, right? And the amount of money that they spend on military, the United States and Canada is a lot.
Say it again.
The amount of money that they spend, U.S. and Canada, protecting the airspace and all the stuff.
Oh, yes.
Something called NOMRA. Yeah.
Any lasting precepts or statements from Malcolm?
Yeah, real quick, right? Because the brother mentioned it in regards to breakdown there and instruction. In regards to the will, I have one precept in the book of John because, yes, the Lord has made us sovereign and separate us, right? And that's why we're here, pretty much. So this is John, John 7 and 17, right? It says, if any man do his will, right? So simply put, that man is speaking to the Lord's elect select, right? And this was he was teaching at the feast. When you go back and look at this, it says, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of the most high power, the power, right? Or whether I speak of myself, right? So yes, this is who we pay our respects to, Yahweh Bashim Yoshai, and we have a savior. Okay, and he, when he was prophesying there and giving us instruction, he wasn't speaking of himself. He was speaking of the one that sent him. Right, simply put. So if any man do his will, and what is his will? Don't go there. Romans 12, 1 and 2. It tells us. Simply put, that's just in a nutshell to tie it in. Right. So yeah, that's all I got, brothers.
I had Obadiah 1. You want to finish with that? Yeah. So this is Obadiah 1. I'm gonna start from verse 2. It says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. See, America right now, Babylon is despised amongst all nations across the four corners of the earth. Even their own people despise them. Verse 3, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down? So we see this prideful man, when he looks in the camera, he's like, you see that smirk on his face, he's letting you know that I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm the boss right now. I'll do whatever I want, even if it hurts my country. Right? Verse 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and thou set thyself amongst the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. So these people, it doesn't matter how proud, how powerful, how great they are, they're going to be taken down, right? Because they're saying to themselves that no one can take them down. But we know that the only person who can take them down is Yahweh Shai, right? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's it. Just wanted to let the audience know that even though these guys are proud, and acting like they're almighty and all powerful, that the Most High is going to take them down in the end.
That's right.
Beautiful, man.
I just got one last precept.
Okay.
Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 11. Make bright the arrows and gather the shields. The Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, for his device is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is a vengeance of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the vengeance of his temple. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon and make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes, for the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon.
Oh, beautiful, man. Total annihilation and destruction, man. This thing is going to fulfill itself because it's the power of the Yahweh Shem Shai, who the world even calls God, man. And the prophets of the Heavenly Father are going to be at the forefront of it all, you know, giving glory and thanks to Yahweh Shem Shai through prophecy, as a testimony of Yahweh Shai as the spirit of prophecy, you know. So scripture say, then they shall know who that a prophet was among them. So how are they going to know that? Because the things that are happening are what the prophet said would happen. Okay, so all right, beautiful, man. You know, with that, we're going to close up. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. We give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and have taught us his word in truth and sincerity. And peace and mercy to the hopeful elect that's pushed this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. All right. Starting with the 144,000 and a Bible ball. Master Allah. And Shabbat Shalom to the hopeful elect.
Shabbat Shalom. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.